Okay, very good morning, everyone, and welcome to the briefing for Sunday, the 28th of May. So, first of all, taking a look at the chart, we see we're still in this area of high pressure, which is centered out to sort of the northwest, bringing in northeasterly winds at the moment. And they've actually painted on here this weakening cold front, which we've sort of been watching for the last few days to see exactly what sort of feature that's going to be. And as I go ahead to midnight tonight, you see it really hasn't moved very far at all. So it is supposedly going to be over us at some point this afternoon, but I think it's going to be barely noticeable, certainly in our part of the country anyway. Tomorrow, otherwise, looking like quite a nice day, still under this area of high pressure, and going further into next week, not much is changing. So nice settled picture at the moment. Spot winds today on the south coast, northeasterly at 20 knots, towards the centre of the country about 10 knots, so we'll call it about 15 knots at flying height today. And that's the current view from above. You see it's nice and clear in our area, and you can possibly see the progression of this front here, slightly more obvious out to the east and really quite weak over the country. And on the rain radar, you can see a few little spots of rain up here, but really not a lot going on. And if we look at the rainfall forecast as we go ahead to this afternoon, again, we see a few bits of what may be drizzle up towards the north. But that's 4 o'clock and really not tracking anywhere down here, and it looks like it is breaking up. So hopefully not going to be too much of a problem. Public forecasts showing a nice sunny day with cloudy intervals with a top temperature of 21 degrees. Reasonable wind from the northeast might make it feel a little bit chillier, but the club operation being on the north side probably won't feel too much of that. And a high UV index again. GFS is showing in our area, maybe not quite that warm, top temperature of about 18, 19 degrees, with only 20 sort of in the London area. Maybe if we look a little bit further into the afternoon. Yeah, much the same, 18, 19 degrees. With a dew point of about 11 degrees by the looks of it. And that's the current view outside. It says it's not current, but it's only about an hour out of date and it hasn't changed very much. Nice blue sky at the moment. Current temperature is 12.5 degrees with a dew point of 6. And nice short meteor on tap from Farnborough. 8 knots of wind to the northeast. And forecast is for exactly the same with few clouds at 4,000 feet. So top meteo is showing, this is 10 a.m, essentially dry thermals up to about 2,000 feet. As we go further ahead to midday, looks like it really gets going about, well, no earlier than about 12. And if we go ahead into the afternoon, it is showing that it's going to be blue in this area, but there's going to be cumulus sort of to the north and to the west. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a very small amount of cumulus here, but it's not going to be anything massive and probably not until later this afternoon. Your potential flight distance for an 18-meter glider is that, so not quite as good as we've been having, and probably best in our area and out to the west, so they'll probably be tasking around there today. Your site forecast shows usable height of thermals, again, not really getting going until about midday to 1 o'clock. If you look at the temperature down there, it's 19 degrees, so that's probably our trigger temperature we're looking for, about 19 degrees today. NOTAM-wise, few ones to be cautious of. Obviously, number 18 there is our NOTAM major gliding competition. And there was just one, I think 24 here. Parachute display at high clear with 2 nautical mile radius, and that's surface to 4,500 feet above sea level. So that's one to be avoided. Other than that, a couple of danger areas. I think 23 is new danger area at Keevil, and there's also the Larkhill danger area active. So not too much to affect, but just mind out for number 24 mostly. So operationally today, the club operation will be set up exactly the same as yesterday, with the launch point just on the threshold of 1.6, and aero towing just next to that, and queuing behind it. Reasonably close to the north side perimeter track here, making sure we're leaving plenty of space for things to land and just general movement to the south of this. When the grid does go later, it gives us a bit more space. Always had trouble getting rid of these. Okay, so a few other things. Club flying during competitions is aerotow only. For the winch current pilots or pilots under instruction, there's a reduced rate aerotow that's £25 to 1,500 feet. Otherwise, it's normal rates. We ask that where possible, do left-hand circuits to land on the north side grass. Otherwise, if you do land on the south side, it might be a little while before we can collect you. Certainly, if the grid is almost going. Probably be the same as yesterday, 12 p.m. onwards. I doubt it'll be much earlier than that. Club launching will then be suspended for an hour to an hour and a half while that goes. So good time for lunch. And of course, it will be really quite busy. If it is blue again, as it probably will be for most of the day, there will be quite large gaggles. So be cautious of that. But once they've all disappeared, it should be reasonably clear until they all then come back, in which case it gets very busy again. And be aware of finishing gliders as they will be approaching straight in from the west, potentially. That's pretty much it from me. I'll see you out at the launch point. Bye for now.